Subscribe to James the Sheriff Dixon, you motherfuckers.
Alright, so what y'all are about to see is the Fun Times with the Sheriff, episode 9, which is the pre-finale. So the episode 10, which is the finale, it's going to air in a couple weeks after this. So yeah, that's going to have 2 guests in it. So it's going to be twice as long as this. So yeah, so my guest for this one is going to be Anthony Allen, and the recording messed up in this because I got my new PC, and that's what it recorded off of, so I did not know the mechanisms of my new audio system, so this was like the test run. So this episode is the test run of like my new stuff that I got. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. We talk Star Wars during this podcast, so yeah, I hope you guys like what you enjoy. So without further ado, the podcast starts.
Actor, and also just like a really compelling character in that he's like a rogue, he's a pirate, but there's still a good and redeeming side to him. And I was really sad in episode 7. I'm sure everyone else was too when he died. But
oh yeah, that he was like the first one to die out of like everybody.
yeah, but I'd say Obi-Wan and Han Solo are my favorites.
And for me, it's of course the Emperor Palpatine. And since you did too, I might as well. And then for the storyline wise, do you know the game, the Force Unleashed?
Yeah.
The Star Killer. He's my second favorite character, even though it's not movie based.
Yeah, is that game canon?
I don't think they've said it is, but like yeah, I think they should make a movie out of it. But a lot of fans want them to as well.
Marek Star Killer, something like that. That's his name.
Yeah, Galen Merrick.
Yeah, Galen Merrick.
He was. If it's non-canon, then they were saying like he would have been like the most powerful like Jedi slash. He's a great Jedi, by the way. The different types. He would have been like one of the most powerful Jedi slash Sith out there, and he was one of the characters that the Emperor actually feared when they were making the story for him.
There's some, now that we're talking about games, there was these games that are a little bit before our time, James. But
Arcade ones?
No, I'm talking about Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh,
like they're computer games.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The huge fan bases around those. Yeah.
Yeah, there's I tried to play them, but my PC was never good enough as a kid, like for the graphics, so I never got to play them. But there's like a lot of mods, and like people still talk about them. There was even that weird Star Wars MMORPG. I don't quite remember the name of that, but that was big in the mid 2000s. It never really caught on. It was like kind of like a RuneScape with Star Wars, or World of Warcraft with Star Wars.
Wasn't there a Jedi Academy game too? There was Knights of the Old Republic, and the Jedi Academy was the other one. Yeah.
And that takes place, like way before the storyline of
Kylo Ren and them turning evil.
Like the Jedi and the Sith War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is some of my favorite parts though. That's when the Emperor was coming up too. He's like, I want to say like they said he was like 1,000-something years old with his age.
Yeah, Darth, his master. So he was Darth Sidious, but it was Darth
Plagueis.
Pelagius, yeah.
And that another thing the Revenge of the Sith gave us was the Darth Plagueis the Wise Tale.
Yeah. Yep. But honestly, there are a lot of good video games surrounded around the Star Wars universe. I loved Battlefront 2 as a kid.
Yeah. I think we played that before. I used to have the PlayStation, the old PlayStation Slim, and the playing as all the Jedi. That was my favorite. One of my favorite.
Jedi vs Sith on Tatooine.
Yeah, Mos Eisley. Yeah, you can play as one of your favorite characters. I always chose the Emperor and/or Mace Windu.
Dude, Emperor's the worst character. Ugh.
All he does was shoot lightning.
Exactly.
But yeah, I've been thinking about recently getting just a PlayStation 2 just to because we don't have that anymore, just to play. I still have the game just to play that because it's not backwards compatible with the new stuff.
Yeah, I played it on PSP. I never had a console, but I had a handheld. I had the PSP, so I played Rogue One and Battlefront, and one I played the Force Unleashed. Great games on the PSP, super fun. Um,
You're talking about the Force Unleashed on PSP, though, right? Not for being fun-wise, right?
yeah, on PSP, exactly. I actually had the special edition PSP, the Star Wars Special Edition Darth Vader PSP. It was white, and it had a decal of Darth Vader on it. It was, this is like 2007 or so, 2008.
Oh, going way back there.
Yeah, I mean, people should know if they're listening to this that those were the best years of life ever.
Yeah, well, especially for us.
Yeah, I mean, being
That's right.
11, 12, 13,
That's around the time we can jump into this. That's around the time those animated shows came out.
Yeah, I was a big fan of. I was telling you about I think it was on a Toonami. It was like Friday or Saturday nights on Cartoon Network. They had the ones where it wasn't like 3D, it was 2D.
Yeah, the 3-minute long clips.
I really like those with Asia Ventress and Count Dooku and all the stuff about that.
Yeah, you're talking about the 3-minute long ones, right? Not the ones that came out later than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about those.
Yeah, I haven't seen those ones. I've been waiting to see those, but I originally watched the 2D/3D ones that you're talking about, which is great because it took almost 10-15 years, but since they've aired in 2008 up until they just ended their last season this year because of getting canceled going on Netflix, and then the Disney Plus transferring over to Disney Plus and then having to film because of this outbreak. So they just ended a few months ago.
Yeah. I liked the movie that was connected to that one with Anakin and his
Secret Apprentice.
Yeah, I watched that with my little sister. I took her to there's a mall in Livonia, like 6 Mile. I forget what the name is, but I distinctly remember going to see that with her. I was like in 6th or 7th grade and saw my. Oh, actually, you remember? Maybe do you remember Pierce, Mr. Gulick? He was a 6th grade English teacher.
I don't think I ever had him, but I know know of the name. Yeah.
Anyways, he was there with his wife and his son, like a few seats ahead of me. And I always just remember it was a good movie, and the little sister was there, and Mr. Gulick was there. It was funny.
Yeah, it was just nostalgic. That's a legit show that I've grown up with, and it just ended this year. And I've seen every episode live, and I remember each episode when they were live, and when they started out 2D, and the better graphics that they got in 3D.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I think the Clone Wars movie wasn't super good, but the Clone Wars, the TV series and stuff, and just the idea of the whole Clone Wars was a really good idea, and I enjoyed it.
You want to talk about favorite characters for that? The TV shows, I know it's a whole different thing too. If you need to think, I can go. My favorite character, personally, for the TV show, again, of course, the Emperor's in that, and then Cad Bane, the bounty hunter.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't. I had some of once again, I had a lot of the Lego sets connected to the TV series. I'm trying to remember from the minifigures who my favorite were.
If you don't have one, that's fine too.
I don't think I really have one, but I know Lego Star Wars, also great video games.
Yeah, those are fun to play too. I know my cousins, I think, had that GameCube. They had the Lego Star Wars for that.
Yeah, I played that on my Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about their like latest discovery after we discussed this about a week ago? The last, yeah, I know you haven't seen the last movie, but
I will. I never will.
and why won't you see what the last one's called? I forget the last.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker. Yes, yes.
So it's funny you mentioned this because my little sister, she's watching all the Star Wars movies for the first time, and she's on 8. She's like halfway through 8, and I was explaining to her why I'll never see 9. So this was like 3 or 4 hours ago.
So she's on 9 right now. Then is what you're saying.
She's halfway through 8. But she had looked up the plot of 9, kind of. Like, she knew some of it. Anyways, well, I guess spoiler alerts for anyone who listens.
Yeah, well, it's been out for over a year now, but yeah, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it.
So, James told me that apparently the Emperor never died, and that, the whole point of 9 is, like, the Emperor's alive, and they finally kill him or whatever. And that Rey is Palpatine's daughter.
Granddaughter. Something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think that's absolutely the worst writing. That's like the worst way you could have ever ended Star Wars is bringing back the Emperor. And I'll tell you why. Because the whole original trilogy about Darth Vader, like 4 through 6. And Luke Skywalker and the father-son relationship, and finally, at the end of 6, he becomes good again. He kills the Emperor. You can see his Force ghost change to, the old Anakin. He's finally at peace. Everything's good. And the 1 through 3 is sort of building up. How did Anakin Skywalker become Darth Vader? That's the whole point of the 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, in this new trilogy,
they also completely erased episode 8 technically, if you think about that too, the storyline
of
Rey said she didn't have any parents in episode 8,
but,
and she was all by herself, and now that they're saying the Emperor's actually her grandfather, so she kind of did have parents.
Yeah, and she had that weird vision or scene.
Yeah, where, in the mirror scene.
Yeah. So the reason I'll never see 9 is that they bring back the Emperor, which, if you think about it, it just makes Darth Vader's redemption cheap. It's like he didn't actually kill the Emperor. He still kind of tried to, which I guess redeems him a little bit, but that whole, conclusion of the original trilogy just is blown up. It doesn't make any sense anymore. And plus, it's cheap recycling an old villain like that. I mean, that's just... I'm not a movie writer, but that seems super, super way too easy to do, is just bring back, the old classic villain.
They do that a lot in the... I know you know about the extended books. I know I used to read those back in...
I used to read... Yeah.
The expanded universe books.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes back 6 or 7 times to the Emperor, to try and kill Luke, because Luke doesn't die like he does in the movies. He keeps living, so he comes back to try and turn Luke to the dark side, and then
Luke does go to the dark side. Yeah.
Luke only does that though to learn the powers of the dark side. By the way, if you know that though, so.
Yeah, the thing is with the EU, there's a lot of good stuff, but then there's also a lot of just poorly written fan fiction that got out there because people really like Star Wars and they want to read anything. And there's a lot of super good fan fiction and a lot of good EU stuff. And I loved it reading it as a kid. But then there's if you have to bring back a character 6 or 7 times, you're probably just trying to make money.
Like I said, he's my favorite, and he is the most powerful Sith. He is the Sith.
I'm going to be honest with you, James. I think that I was telling my sister Abby about this. George Lucas should have never sold the rights to this new trilogy. I think that we would have had a much more coherent storyline a much more satisfying ending if he was still the director, the writer.
He did say that didn't he say like he had the scripts for at least episode 7 and 8 like written back like in the 80s, like he like showed like Mark Hamill them and whatnot, and Mark Hamill liked them, and then like in the early 2000s like he did sold them to Disney and they didn't use them.
Yeah,
or they use them as like rough drafts, and then that one director changed them a lot.
You know, billions. He sold them for billions of dollars. So I get why he did it, but
he could have made twice that while keeping it.
That's, I mean, with the movie sales, you think?
Star Wars, the Force Awakens, when it first came out, it toppled everything. It was number one, like over like I think it's $7 billion something in worldwide box office.
I saw it twice. I saw it once at college, and I saw it once with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say it toppled the Titanic at the time, which it was trying to beat. So
yeah, it was seven was good, but I think they've had 2 or 3 different. Like I think the one who wrote 7 also wrote 9, but like 8 was a writer or something like that.
Yeah, it was the same guy who wrote 7. The people in charge, who was Kathleen Kennedy. I know a bunch of Star Wars people hate her, but she didn't like the director who did 8, but she liked the guy who did 7, so she brought him back for 9.
Yeah, but I mean, just from a standpoint, like that can't be good for story coherence and vision, you know, to like have that many different people contributing.
You mean like switching it up like that each movie?
Yeah, that's like having, you know, if, you know, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings was written by, you know, 4 or 5 different authors. It's like you kind of get just a jumble instead of like a nice, coherent, unified whole.
Yeah, and like I said, like episode 8's pretty much written like it's like their own kind of little, it's like a side quest. Since the original director came back, he pretty much just finished his own story from the episode 7.
J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah, he pretty much finished his own story from a whole entire movie ago, and erased the middle movie.
Yeah, I think that 7 was good. It was pretty much like a direct copy of 4.
Yeah, they were saying 7 was like a direct copy of the original one, episode 4.
Yeah.
And then they were saying like episode 8, that wasn't really a copy of 5 because the director wanted to do what he wanted to do in 8. That's why they didn't like him. And then 9 again was like a copy of 6.
Yeah, but I think that even though 7 was a copy of 4, it was still like well done enough, and plus it's like people hadn't seen Star Wars in like over a decade at that point, so you know there was a lot of excitement.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, that like a lot of people hated the 8th one too, though. So
yeah, it was.
I didn't mind it. I just have to say right now, like as a whole, I like all the movies, but like I didn't mind episode 8. I did not like hate it when I saw it.
I think I also saw that twice. Yeah, I saw it. I mean, if I've seen something twice, I probably liked it enough, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's the one with I forget the director's name, but the one they switched, like we were just talking about. But that's the one where she figures out that she has no parents, and then again 9 erases that.
He has no parents, and like she has those like weird telekinetic things with
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah, and she learns from Luke at the island, and I think also Luke dies. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you know? And those 3-minute. I wanted to bring this up earlier for the 3-minute short things. Did you know that they made Shaggy from Scooby Doo into a Jedi?
Darth Shaggy, or
no? They made just the it's an episode with General Grievous in it, and it's Shaggy as a Jedi, and they even have I think Matthew Lillard's voice playing him too.
That's funny.
It's
I'll look that up.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's it's like pretty great. Like, there was that whole meme that one year about Shaggy being like a god or whatever from that WWE movie that came out.
Yeah, the old Scooby Doo live action. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a Star Wars short where there's a Jedi that looks just like Shaggy. It sounds just like him, and he gets pretty much killed by General Grievous.
Wow, that's kind of Shaggy would make a horrible Jedi. I think we can agree on that.
No, I like that meme where he's like, I created existence. I think Shaggy would make a great Jedi.
No, he would not.
She would use the Force to make sandwiches.
I'm not even gonna try and do a Shaggy impression.
Zoinks, Scoob!
Scooby Doo and Zombie Island. Now that's a good movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Is it?
Yeah, that's yeah.
The
It is zombies, so
the gumbo, they make a good looking. It's a cartoon, obviously, but they make a chili dish that looks really good.
mm-hmm. That's the one where the monsters are actually real. Like the only movie where they're actually real.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's zombies, my favorite subject.
I should have figured that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about that.
It's right in the title.
Okay, James. Jeez. Okay.
Wow. All right. Well, we're about at the half-hour mark. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I mean, to be honest, there's Star Wars formed so much of my childhood life. I could talk about it for hours and hours and still probably not be bored. Jeez. I remember I can't even believe I had the T-shirts, the Legos, the video games, the books, the movies, the TV shows.
I already know that's like the first like ever. This was the first like ever thing like you already know like I was obsessed with.
Yeah, like the even toothpaste and toothbrushes and socks, underwear, like everything was Star Wars. I don't know. It's such a. I'm just very. There are a lot of people who hate 7, 8, 9, and I don't. I definitely don't hate 7. I don't mind 8. I've never seen 9. I think that's stupid.
I'm gonna force you to watch 9 one day.
But I'm still, if they put out movies with like filling in gaps between 3 and 4, or doing things after 9, or doing things before.
No, there are movies that they're gonna come out with. They had slots for like in the next like Disney release, like because of this virus, they would have been filming now. But there are another three movie trilogy that's coming out within like next 5 or 10 years.
Do you know what time period that's going to be?
Like 2023, 2024.
Oh, I mean in like the Star Wars universe.
No, I don't. Nobody knows right now what it is. I think it's that one guy who did the 8th one that's doing that, unless they got somebody else.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they have enough expanded universe stuff that they should do stuff before Episode 1. Like,
I think they should do like I said, I think they should do the Force Unleashed. I think they should make that into a movie. They have a great actor who can. I've said this guy's name before. I don't know his name, but the movie The Mist. There's a soldier guy in that who has a shaved head, and he's pale and he looks just like Starkiller.
Now wait a minute. I'm pale and I have a shaved head. I could be Starkiller. I wish the podcast people could see me, but I have a nice shaved head. It would be perfect for that.
But if you've seen The Mist, you know what person I'm talking about, though.
Well, I don't care. He's competition for a movie role for me,
We should kickstart this movie. We should make the Force Unleashed.
I probably still have this is another thing, lightsabers. I mean, okay, what house did you go over in like the mid-2000s where there weren't like 7 plastic lightsabers? And those things hurt when you got hit with them.
I remember I had at least 4.
I had the ones that lit up. I had the ones that slid out. Well, they all kind of slid out.
I once had one of those like the first run, like those glass ones, not like the expensive ones, but like what I'm talking about, right? Like the plastic lined glass ones, yeah.
That one was really cool. But like the plastic ones that you push the button down
And it barely comes out, and you have to force it out the second time.
I was just about to say, you like whip it out. It doesn't go all the way, so you just like grab the end of it with your hand and pull it out.
I'm looking at mine right now in my room. I still have one of my original ones. The it's red too.
I had a nice blue one. I think it was Obi-Wan's. And then I had they had build your own lightsaber kits. So I had a nice one of those. I had one of the curved ones. I think it's a Count Dooku.
The Count Dooku, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, those were lightsaber battles were the best. They hurt, like those stung when you got.
Oh yeah, that's it. I remember getting into lightsaber fights with my cousin. They would not. When I talk about my cousins, I'm talking like the Jeffrey side cousins. Yeah. They would not stop either. They would go full on like.
Well, I can imagine like having brothers or male cousins. I think my cousin Tom and I, we just like wail on each other, and you get like, red marks. Maybe not bruises, but like
marks that'll last like a couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the teachers be like, "Well, what'd you do?" That was lightsaber fighting. But before we end this, I know we're coming up on time. If you could be a Jedi or Sith, what would you be?
Like, if I could be a Jedi or Sith.
Yeah, like, there's all types of Jedi. It's like gray Jedi, dark Jedi, regular Jedi, like Sith. Yeah. What would you be?
Dude, I'd be a Jedi Master. I'd be on the council. No doubt.
I'd be a gray Jedi, so that way I can wield both sides of the Force.
I'm all about that good life, James.
No, the gray Jedis can have both dark powers and light powers, and they make decisions for themselves without having to go to the council. The gray Jedi is the best Jedi way.
I'm all about the law. I'm all about the rules. I'm all about living good.
But in the end, the Jedis were the ones that were the most corrupt, and the Sith were the ones that were trying to make everything balanced.
Okay, that's what the Sith tell you. That okay. You're starting to sound like a little Anakin.
Well, in my eyes, the Jedi are evil.
Don't make me get the high ground, okay?
But that's the thing. I always have the high ground.
I mean, Michigan's a pretty flat state. I'm on the 6th floor of my building, so I'm pretty sure I have the high ground.
And I live in yeah, you do have that. I could just be like Obi-Wan and make a 30-foot jump.
Oh man, I had that. What was that Mustafa? Is that the name of their planet? Mustafar. Sorry, I had that Lego set too. That was really cool.
Like this is just like a great topic. Like, so I'm just gonna stop it right here. 3, 2, 1, stop.
All good.
So yeah, that was episode 9. I hope you guys enjoyed my best friend coming on again, and yep, episode 10 is going to be the season finale, and I don't have any much more to say, and that, I guess I'll let Brandon Rogers take from here. If you guys like what you've been seeing, please like and subscribe for more. This is James saying peace, and again, I'll let Brandon Rogers take from here.
Right, I just want to shout out an amazing channel, James the Sheriff Dixon. Oh, he's such a great guy, and he is super cool for coming to the show. I'm glad I got to meet him in person, and you should subscribe.